The Pitts Special is a series of light aerobatic biplanes designed by Curtis Pitts. It has accumulated many competition wins since its first flight in 1944. The Pitts biplanes dominated world aerobatic competition in the 1960s and 1970s and, even today, remain a potent competition aircraft in the lower categories. Design and development: Curtis Pitts began the design of a single-seat aerobatic biplane in 1943–1944. The design has been refined continuously since the prototype's first flight in September 1944, however, the current Pitts S2 still remains quite close to the original in concept and in design. Several of the aircraft that Curtis Pitts built had a picture of a skunk on them and were called stinkers. After she bought it, aerobatic performer Betty Skelton called the second aircraft that Curtis built, Lil Stinker. The prototype S2, which was the first two-seat Pitts, was Big Stinker, the prototype Model 11 was Super Stinker, and the prototype Model 12 was the Macho Stinker. In 1962 Curtis Pitts set up Pitts Enterprises to sell plans of the S1C to home builders. Operational history: all single-seat and two-seat Pitts Specials are variations on the basic design from 1944. The aircraft was popularized by Betty Skelton, Caro Bailey and other air show performers, which led to the offering of plans in 1962. Pitts produced limited numbers of aircraft during the 1940s and 1950s. The Pitts Special became the standard by which all other aerobatic aircraft were judged. After a number of home-built aircraft were produced from rough hand-drawn plans produced by Pitts, more professionally drawn plans went on sale in 1962. While many home-built aircraft were built in the 1960s, earning the S1 a reputation as an excellent aerobatic aircraft, Pitts worked on the design of a two-seat aerobatic trainer version, the S2, which first flew in 1967 and gained its type certificate in 1971. Factory-built aircraft produced by the Aerobatic Company at Afton, Wyoming were joined in production by the single-seat S1S in 1973. The design's popularity grew significantly following Bob Herendine's participation on the USA Aerobatic team in a Pitts Special in the World Aerobatic Competition in Moscow, Russia in 1966. In 1972, the U.S. Aerobatic team won the World Championships flying only Pitts biplanes. In 1977 Curtis Pitts sold his interests in the Pitts S1 and S2 to Doyle Child. Child later sold the rights in 1981 to Frank Christensen, who continued production at the Afton plant under the guise of Christen Industries. The rights for home-built versions of the Pitts were sold in 1994 to Steen Aero Lab, with the Afton factory and production rights being transferred to Aviat. Curtis Pitts died in 2005 at age 89. At the time of his death, he was working with Steen on the prototype of the new Pitts Model 14, a brand-new, two-seat biplane designed for unlimited aerobatics powered by the 400-horsepower Vida New of M14P radial engine. The rights to the Pitts name is currently owned by Aviat, which also owns the similar model to the Pitts in the Christen Eagle. The current world record for the number of consecutive flat spins is 81, held by Spencer Suderman in 2014 in a Pitts S2B from 23,000 feet altitude. Current versions certified versions of the compact Pitts are now produced by Aviat in Afton, Wyoming. It is available as an S1 single-seater with an up to 200 horsepower flat 4 Lycoming engine and a 17 feet 4 in wingspan, or as an S2 two-seater variant featuring a 260 horsepower flat 6 Lycoming and a 20 feet wingspan. Pitts Specials have been equipped with engines of up to 450 horsepower. The Pitts held sway over the aerobatic world championships until the rise of the monoplane, though it remains very competitive in all levels of competition and remains a favorite of airshow performers worldwide. The first monoplane to topple the Pitts from the top of unlimited aerobatic competition was the Russian-built and designed Yak-50. On March 13, 2014, airshow performer Spencer Suderman broke the inverted flat spin world record in a Pitts S2B by completing 81 full rotations from an altitude of 23,000 feet over the California desert in El Centro, CA. The previous record was held by a Giles 202 monoplane and stood since 1999. Today, the single-seat Pitts S1S plans are available from Aviat Aircraft. The S1C and derivative S1SS plans and kits are supplied by Aero Lab in Palm Bay, Florida. The S1 continues to provide extremely high performance at relatively low cost. Many hundreds of home builders have successfully completed and flown the Pitts since plans became available in 1960. Variants: S1, basic single-seat Pitts aerobatic biplane with a flat M6 aerofoil section and lower wing ailerons only, fitted with a variety of engines. 2 were built, the first named Special and the second Lyle Stinker, S1C, amateur-built S1 single-seat aircraft, flat-bottom wing with ailerons on lower wing only, designed for 180 horsepower engines. First flown in 1960, the S1 is currently available as a plans-built aircraft from Aero Lab. S1D, amateur-built S1C with ailerons on all 4 wings, generally similar to S1S, S1E, amateur-built S1C using factory-produced kits. Uses symmetrical airfoil. S1F, outside derivative home-built, with the Falcon wing. Square tips, 25% more aileron span. In the UK, this model is fitted with a 200 horsepower Monty Barrett engine, and a lightweight Hoffman VP propeller. S1S, aerobatic-built certified S1C for competition aerobatics, round airfoil section, 4 ailerons and powered by a 180 horsepower Lycoming AEIO 360B4A. 61 built. This model is also available from Aviat Aircraft as a plans-built aircraft. S1SS, similar to the certified S1S round wing. 180 euro 200 plus HP, single-seat, home-built, symmetrical wing, 4 symmetrical Super Stinker-style ailerons, 300 degree per second roll rate, fixed-pitch propeller. This model is available in plans and components form from Aero Lab. S1T, aerobatic-built S1C with a 200 horsepower Lycoming AEIO 360A1E in minor changes. 64 built. 4 aileron, single-seat, factory-built, symmetrical wing, symmetrical ailerons, constant speed 2 or 3 blade Hartzell propeller. The top wing was moved forward compared to the S1S for weight and balance. This model was in production in 2008 from Aviat Aircraft as an on-demand manufacture product. S1-11B, known as Model 11 Super Stinker, 300 plus HP Lycoming, 4 aileron, single-seat, experimental plans or factory-built and factory component parts, symmetrical airfoil, 3-blade constant speed prop, rolls better than 300 degree per second, climbs better than 3,000 feet per minute. S2, scaled up S1 with tandem 2-seat fuselage and powered by a 200 horsepower Lycoming AEIO 360B4A piston engine. S2A, aerobatic-built S2A with a 200 horsepower Lycoming AEIO 360A1A or A1E piston engine, constant speed propeller, later builds has a longer landing gear and a 2-inch wider front cockpit. 259 built. S2B, aerobatic-built S2A with a 260 horsepower Lycoming AEIO 540D4A5 engine, and upper wing auxiliary fuel tank, the landing gear and upper wings were moved forward 6 inches. 196 built. The aircraft is out of production but is supported by Aviat Aircraft, S2C, 4 aileron, 2-seat, factory-built, symmetric airfoil, 260 horsepower Lycoming driving constant speed 3-blade propeller, current production model. This was an evolution of the S2B model, with improved ailerons and rudder, flat-bottom fuselage, lower profile bungee gear, better inverted handling and certified for plus 6-5G. It is in production in 2008 by Aviat Aircraft, S2E, amateur-built S2A from factory-produced kits. S2S, aerobatic-built S2B with a single cockpit and a twin-tank fuel system. The fuselage is shortened by 14 inches forward of the cockpit to allow the installation of the heavier 260 horsepower Lycoming AEIO 540D4A5. The wingspan is 20 feet, 0 inches. 17 built. This model is currently out of production, but supported by Aviat Aircraft, S2SE, amateur-built S2S from factory-produced kits. Modifications Samson, the Big Pits. It had a 450 horsepower Pratt & Whitney 985, originally designed for Jess Bristow and was used as an airshow airplane. Military operators, Chile, Jordan, Royal Jordanian Falcons Aerobatic Team, Venezuela. Civil operators, Pitts Specials Formation Aerobatic Team. Specifications, data from Jane's All the World's Aircraft 1988 to Euro 89, General characteristics, crew, 1, capacity, 1 passenger, length, 18 feet 9 inches, wingspan, 20 feet 0 in, height, 6 feet 7 in, wing area, 125 FTA squared, empty weight, 1,150 pounds, max takeoff weight, 1,625 pounds, power plant, 1 Textron Lycoming AEIO 540D4A5 flat 6 air-cooled piston engine, 260 horsepower, performance, never exceeds speed, 182 knots, cruise speed, 152 knots, stall speed, 52 knots, range, 277 nanometers, service ceiling, 21,000 feet, rate of climb, 2,700 feet per minute, wing loading, 13.0 pounds FTA squared, power mass, 0.16 horsepower per pound. See also, related development, Pitts Model 12, Vansil Spiz S1, an ultralight S1 replica, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Acrosport 2, Sorel Hyperbipe, Steen Skibolt, Aviat Eagle 2. References. Notes Bibliography External links, Aviat Aircraft, Steen Aero Lab, Pitts Model 12 website Euro Jim Kimball Enterprises, aerofiles.com.